Good evening, guys. Tonight we're taking a look at another watch from my collection that I've had for some time. This is another diver's watch from Oris. This one happens to be the Oris Carlos Coste original version that was released back in 2006. Now, again, this is a limited edition piece. It was released with a total number of 2,000 pieces with a suggested retail price of $2,200 at the time. As with a lot of their limited edition pieces, it comes as a kit. This one happens to come in a gray zipper leather pouch. When you open it up, you'll see that there's this brochure at the top, which is actually kind of an interesting fold-out brochure that acts to commemorate Venezuelan freediving world record holder Carlos Coste's achievement at the time. In 2006, he achieved the world record of 140 meters freediving. And so this watch was made in partnership with him to commemorate that. And since that time, Oris has continued to partner with Carlos Coste and produced a number of different watches to commemorate his different world records. As part of this brochure, you'll see it includes a certificate that has the individual case number for this watch, as well as a signature from the president of Oris. Looking at the rest of the kit, what you have is the watch sitting on a Velcro strap in the center. To the one side, you have the interchangeable rubber strap, a metal anvil to help with strap changes, as well as a screwdriver bit for the anvil. There's two extra screws for the strap and bracelet changes, as well as a screwdriver. All right, so taking a closer look at the watch, this is a 2,000 meter rated diving watch. It measures 46 millimeters in case diameter. The watch is constructed entirely out of titanium, as is the bracelet. It does have a unidirectional rotating diver's bezel with a painted metal insert that's done in what's commonly referred to as the Coke color combination because of the red and black. There is a luminous pip at the 60-minute marker. On the dial are applied polished silver hour markers that are kind of pointed like teeth, I would say. And the dial background is a subtle wave pattern and done in a kind of a matte black color. There is a subsidiary constantly running seconds, a subdial at the 10 o'clock position, and a small date window at the 6 o'clock position with white numerals on a black background. Going around to the sides of the case, you'll see that they're kind of rounded and flared out, and that the lugs are actually very narrow at the ends of the case. And that's kind of a characteristic of Oris's dive watches. They use a proprietary lug width with the way the bracelet integrates with the case, so that just the center link is attached to the case here. What that does is kind of helps to reduce the overall bulk of the case because the lugs don't have to be spaced out quite as far. And also integrates very well with the way the bracelet's designed. You can see that the outer links narrow or taper slightly all the way down to the clasp, starting out at the case. And the outer links are all done in polished finish, just like the outer surfaces of the lugs. And then the center links are all the same size and done in a brushed finish down to the clasp. Over on the 3 o'clock side of the case, you'll see that there is a polished screw-down crown and then manual helium release valve. The bracelet's attached to the case by standard screws, two-sided. Again, all the tools are included in the kit to help you take off the bracelet to interchange it with the strap. The buckle is a flip-lock diver's buckle with a wetsuit extension. One thing to note as far as the way this is designed is because the lug spacing is so narrow here, it really only accepts either bracelets or straps that are specifically designed to fit an Oris, because most standard straps won't fit in between these two lugs. But that's okay, because Oris's bracelets tend to be extremely well made. Very heavy duty links. You can see how they're thicker at the case and then thin out towards the clasp. Also all right, one thing I do want to point out as far as the interchangeable rubber strap that this kit comes with is that it's the original design Oris Divers rubber strap. By original design, I mean it is a cut to fit style rubber strap, meaning that there are segments on either end of the strap that need to be cut down in order to size it to the owner's wrist. But what that means is once it's cut down, then obviously it can't be sized back up. So if you need it to fit a larger wrist, you would need to purchase a new rubber strap. The one thing though is it does come with flip lock wetsuit extension on this side. But other than that, it would need to be replaced if it needs to be sized up. All right. The movement on this watch is the Oris 643 automatic movement. It's a 27 joule movement with a 38-hour power reserve and uses the ETA 2836-2 as its base. So looking at the back of the case, anyone who's had a Coste diver will recognize this medallion. Features a silhouette of Coste and his freediving pose, also his signature, and then the limited edition insignia as well. All of the lume on this watch is C3 Super Luminova. So now taking a look at this watch on my wrist. My wrist is 7 3/4 in circumference, just for reference. I find that the watch is extremely comfortable on the wrist. Obviously, a big reason is because of this fantastic bracelet that Oris uses. Also, even though it's 46 millimeters in diameter, it actually sits very nicely on the wrist because of the way that the lugs are very narrow at the ends of the case. If it had more traditional lugs that stuck out further in order to accommodate a wider bracelet, I think it would be a lot bulkier on the wrist. One thing to note is that it is quite thick because the design is made for a 2,000 meter water resistance. So it does stand up from the top of the wrist a little bit more than some other watches. You'll find that some of the newer Oris divers, especially the Aqua series, tend to be a little bit thinner than the original diver's design. Also, the case back is kind of a bubbled case back, so that does add to the thickness of the watch. Alright, if you'd like to see more detailed photos and specifications about this watch, you can check them out at watchandtime.com, where I've posted a full written review along with some detailed macro photographs. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them below. And please click subscribe for more watch reviews in the future. All right, thanks for watching.